Finally got my software update too. Took about a week. Cool. You know, when I first got the car, it popped up this easy entry for my seat profile. I'm like, oh, what the hell's that? I'm deleting that, and didn't know what it was. And what it actually is it changes your seat position when you first get into the car and when you're ready to exit the car, so it's easier to get in and out of. I actually noticed, oh, my trunk's open. Guess I need to close that. So it's easier because I noticed when I was getting in and out of the car, because I have a very far back seating position and I'm kind of dropped down, and it was a struggle for me to get in and out of the car, sort of. And with this easy entry, it's nice because you adjust your easy entry. It's its own set of settings for the steering wheel and the seat. So the easy entry has it I'm pushed forward more and up, and the steering wheel is out of the way. But now when you're ready to drive, once your seatbelt's on and you put your foot on the brake, watch what happens. Taking off my seatbelt. All right, now I'm in easy entry mode to make it easy to get out of the car. So now I'll get out. Okay, I'm back. Please excuse my low-end seat cover. It's just to protect the seats while I'm sweaty from the gym for now. All right, close the door. Seatbelt. Foot on brake. Okay, that's what it normally does. You put your foot on the brake and it automatically will flip to your profile. And the way you turn that on is in your profile. In your profile, there's an option down here for easy entry. That little checkbox, use easy entry. You just enable that, and then you are able to have different seating positions for getting in and out of the vehicle. And for someone tall like me, at least, that is very helpful. So anyways, I wanted to start the video off with some very surprising news, and I'm very, very grateful that someone actually used my Tesla referral code to order a Tesla. I looked at my referrals the other day, and lo and behold, a nice person by the name of Eric ordered his Tesla on 4/29. And the good news for Eric and for me is as long as his sale goes through, we both get 5,000 free supercharger miles. And that offer is actually good until the end of May, roughly. So if you are considering buying a Tesla and you use my referral code, or anybody's referral code for that matter, you will get 5,000 free supercharging miles. So of course I'd appreciate it if you use mine, but if not, I understand. But keep that in mind. It's a nice little perk, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of open road driving on your Tesla. Okay, so I had a lot of notes here because I've had a lot of thoughts and a lot of experiences since taking ownership of my Model 3 a little bit more than a week ago. I've messed around with the Autopilot. I've used it a decent amount, especially during my commute going to work. We'll put it on right now. Okay, right now Autopilot is engaged, and it's done pretty well. Even in situations where there's a lot of rush hour traffic, it seems to handle that pretty well. I'm always paying attention. I'm not sitting here picking my nose while Autopilot is doing its thing, but Autopilot has been pretty impressive. The only thing that I've noticed it has issues with is like doing turns into from multi-lane roadways into other multi-lane roadways. It seems to be very, very cautious and slow and jerky as it's making that turn. Especially if there's more than one lane of traffic that's turning at a time, it really seems to kind of struggle with that. One of the things that I was complaining about was I hadn't gotten the software update for my car yet. I was waiting. I connected my car to Wi-Fi because I read that it has a better chance of downloading when you're connected to Wi-Fi. That didn't seem to make a difference. And I have a stoplight coming up. Autopilot does not know what to do about stoplights yet. Full self-driving will, but I don't believe Autopilot does. What was I saying? Oh, the software update. But anyways, the software update did finally hit on Friday. I'm up to version 12.05 or something like that. Let's see. 219.12.1.2 is the software version that is on this car. And I also did verify the build date on my car. Someone told me that the build date of the car is on the sticker in the driver's side door jamb. And according to that, my car was built 4/19, so it was just built in April, so it's not one that's been sitting around in inventory for a while. I'm not quite sure how you determine if your hardware level 3.0 or 2.5, but I think there's a good chance that this has the 3.0 hardware in it, but someone might be able to tell me how you verify that, but I don't know. I've been learning features as they go. You know, some things that I didn't realize, like for example, when I was taking the car to work, you know, I would get there and I'd have, you know, for example, 75% of battery left. I get to work, and then I would come out after work at the end of the day, and I had like 72% or 71% battery left. I'm like, well, what the hell? What's going on? Here, by default, evidently, there's a setting where it will keep your cabin cool for you automatically, and it was set to 105 degrees. So what was happening was, as the car was heating up during the day, it was kicking the AC on to keep the temperature at 105 or less, and that's what consumed that power. I've since turned that setting off. Most of the time, I'm going to probably try to park in the parking garage. It won't get that hot, but I really don't want to burn up battery during the day to cool the cabin, unless someone can give me a good reason why I should do that. That's not something I'm going to be doing. Some other things that I've noticed that I was surprised by, and it was really my own problem, my own lack of attention to detail, was there were certain things that I thought I was getting with the Standard Range Plus that I don't get. And a lot of those have to do with the premium interior and the premium connectivity packages, which are included on the longer range cars. And I thought this was stuff that was included in all the cars. One of the things that you don't get with the Standard Range Plus is you only have this one type of map. You don't have the satellite view or the view where you can see the buildings. You just have one view. You also do not get the web browsing with the Standard Range Plus. Now, from what everybody says, that's not a big omission, because it kind of sucks. Everyone kind of says that the web browser sucks, but you do not get that with the Standard Range Plus. That is part of the premium connectivity package. Another difference, and this isn't something that I care about, but the back seats are disabled, even though they have physical heaters in them. I guess it's disabled with the Standard Range Plus. Although someone told me that there's a hack to get around that. If you put it in fireplace mode, it will actually turn on the rear seat heaters, at least for now. Another omission with the Standard Range Plus is you do not get the HomeLink garage door controller, which was something that I was kind of excited about, but yeah, you do not get that. Now, you can buy that aftermarket, or not aftermarket, you can buy that after the fact on the Tesla store as an accessory. It's about $300, but I have not done that yet, and it's not in stock anyways. Just like most things on the Tesla store, it's out of stock. Let's see. This is something that I thought was weird, and I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, and maybe I need to read more about it in the manual. But the voice control on the Standard, at least on this car, seems to do next to nothing. I've been able to call Cindy using it. Like, I can do this. Call Cindy Cassidy. Okay, and if I hit her name, it'll actually come up. But it won't do anything with navigation, as far as I can tell. Just watch this. Navigation. Try again. And it seems, basically, I haven't found any command that works with voice control other than calling somebody. If anyone knows that that's another shortcoming of the Standard Range Plus, I mean, not working with navigation is kind of stupid, if that's the case. So I'm hoping I can figure that out. Let's see. What else okay. So yeah, that covers that. Oh, with the software update, I did finally get the Sentry mode option, which allows your car to record video if it detects anyone very close to the car, or loud noise, or the car gets bumped. it will record that footage automatically and download it to the USB drive, which I do have in there. And I did test that today. I'll do a video on testing it as well. But it's cool. The footage on the USB stick is very clear, and it's out of the front camera and the two side cameras, so you basically get a view of the front 180 degrees of your vehicle. So that feature does work. I'm not sure what other features were enabled in the software. I saw a couple things in the software notes about. I need to review the notes again. But there were some additional features. Like I did notice after the upgrade that it automatically set my daily charging limit to 75%. I had it set to 82%, and after that update it was automatically set to 75%. I bumped it back to 80%, but I'm not sure if that's the new magic number that they recommend as far as daily charging. So all that stuff's been good. Everything has been good. The power on this car, when you multiple people, I've had them in here, I step on the accelerator and they're just floored by the power that this car has. It really is amazing. But there has been something that's been very, very aggravating and disappointing with the Model 3 so far, and that is my efforts to try to get service on the vehicle to fix the steering wheel that is still 5 to 10 degrees off center. And to compound matters, I discovered, actually Cindy discovered, that there is a drip or a run in the paint to the right of the trunk deck lid, which I'll put a picture to here. You might want to freeze it so you can take a good look at that. But it's like a 3 to 4 inch paint run. And that was really disappointing. I read prior to buying the car about all the paint problems that they had with Model 3, but I figured by now they had those issues worked out. And the more I thought about it with that paint run, the more it kind of aggravated me. Let's take off auto drive. You know, because I thought to myself, all right, to have a paint drip like that on the exterior of the car, and for it to get in front of me, that means that it had to go in front of probably at least dozens of Tesla employees interacted with this car since it was painted. And that paint drip was there. So that means that all of these people saw it. Well, maybe they didn't all see it, but I'm sure a bunch of them did, and did nothing about it. And I just can't understand why that's okay. Like, how can that be okay to push out a car that has such an obvious flaw in the paint? I just don't understand it. But when you look online, there's tons and tons and tons of people that have gotten cars with significant paint problems. And I just don't get it. I mean, my assumption is it's just because of the overwhelming pressure to just push vehicles. But how can they not expect customers to notice that and to be upset about it? You know, these are expensive vehicles. And I posted something about this in the Tesla Motors Club forum, and someone chimed in and they said, "Hey, you know, this is part of what you get with Tesla. You know, they're not perfect yet. They're still having growing pains," and you know, and his thought was that he, you know, supports the company, so he's okay with things not being perfect. And I agree with that to a degree. You know, I love the car. I love the driving experience. I love what it represents. But I still don't think that excuses that kind of oversight when it comes to quality control. You know, it's bad. I mean, it really kind of blew my mind when I saw that on the car. So anyway, so now I have two problems to resolve.
Hi, what can I get started for you?
Hi, can I get a medium hot coffee with hazelnut and extra cream?
Alright, anything else?
Yeah, then a large hot coffee with cream and sugar. I like the hold feature as well. Once you come to a complete stop, it just puts the car in hold, so you don't have to keep your foot on the brake.
There you go.
All right, thanks.
Have a great day.
You too. Still getting used to some little ins and outs. I am very comfortable with the 1 foot driving technique now, though. It's nice. And you know, the way that I drive, I don't use a lot of power typically. I'm not jackrabbiting off the start. I do a pretty good job at regenning power, so just using the one pedal. So I'm getting very, very comfortable with that, for sure. Okay, so what was I talking about? Oh, the problem resolution. Now, in my last video, a lot of people didn't see that. I did talk about everything that I went through trying to talk to somebody about my problem with the steering wheel initially and then the paint as well. So let me just quickly recap. The Saturday after I took delivery of the car, I left a voicemail for Dania Beach to get back to me about resolution, and I did not hear anything back until Wednesday. I left voicemails on Monday, Tuesday, and an email on Monday as well. Heard nothing back until Wednesday. The message that they have in their voicemail is all calls should be returned within 24 hours. So that did not happen. So I found that aggravating. But I did finally talk to somebody. And once I talked to somebody, my first request was, hey, can a mobile tech fix these problems? And the initial response I got back was no. But the service manager at Dania Beach recommended that I make the appointment for Sarasota, which is a little bit closer to me and it's on the West Coast. And I mentioned to him that Sarasota does not show up in the app as a valid location. You can't pick it. And he told me that was because it was a new location. It's not in the app yet, but you can take a car there. He told me this. But the way that you have to do it is he told me to make a fake appointment for Dania Beach, and in the notes for that appointment say that I actually want to go to Sarasota, which is kind of insane. But that's what he told me to do, and that's what I did. But then the next day I got a text message from someone at Dania Beach, I'm not sure who it was, saying that actually you cannot do that, that Sarasota is not taking appointments yet, and so my only option was really to go to Dania Beach. So that was kind of aggravating, but I actually did put in for a vacation day for Tuesday. This was scheduled to go to Dania Beach on Tuesday, so I made the vacation arrangements, and I told him, okay, I guess I'll be there Tuesday if you fix these things. And then I get another text message later that same day saying, we wanted to let you know that a remote tech, a Naples remote tech, is going to be able to take care of this for you. He's going to be able to fix the steering wheel problem, and it sounded like address the paint, which I'm not quite sure how that's going to happen. But the case was turned over to the Naples remote tech. When I looked in my Tesla app, I no longer had an appointment at Dania Beach. I had no appointments in Dania Beach. So this kind of concerned me, because so now I've been told I'm dumped over to the remote tech group, but I have no idea when it's scheduled, how this works. And I called into the 800 number, the Tesla 800 number, and eventually got someone on the phone. It took probably about 15 minutes to get someone on the phone. And I explained to her, I said, how does this work? I was told I was dumped into the Naples remote tech group for scheduling, but I can't access that schedule. According to my app, I have no appointments for service. How does this work? And she said basically when you are scheduled for a remote tech, it's something totally separate from the normal appointment scheduling, and you can't see it. Basically, it is just handled by someone reaching out to you via text or email, and you coordinate it that way. But you don't know when that's going to happen. So I find, to put it mildly, I find it rather frustrating. I still don't know when the Naples tech is supposed to show up. I still have Tuesday off as of now. I guess tomorrow I'll probably reach back out to see if I can get some clarity on it. But I think it's a poorly thought out plan to not provide a way for customers to know what is happening with their vehicle, when it's going to get worked on. And I still don't understand how he's going to fix that. If he's thinking that can just be buffed out. Yeah, I'm not sure if that drip is in the clear coat or the base. I'm hoping it's in the clear coat, because if it's in the clear coat, I guess it could be buffed out, but I would expect that to be something a body shop does, not a remote tech. So obviously if it's not done to my satisfaction, I'm going to push until it is done correctly. So we'll see how that goes. Autopilot is good for drinking coffee. So that sort of wraps up my thoughts for now. I'm going to be having a live stream tonight. I have a live stream every 2 weeks on my channel. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of talk about the Tesla on there, as well as my normal talk about personal electric vehicles, electric unicycles, skateboards, one wheel, all that kind of stuff. But I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of Tesla talk as well. Overall, I am still very, very happy with my purchase. I am somewhat surprised with some of the BS that I've dealt with so far, but the more I read online, the less surprised I guess I should be, because it sounds like everybody that owns a Tesla knows that Tesla's service and the Tesla experience is far from perfect, but it seems like even if you do have a problem, they will correct it. They will do what is needed to correct it for the customer. It's just a matter of how long that's going to take. Unfortunately, it's not the most convenient setup. Luckily, I have another vehicle I can drive. You know, if this does have to go into a shop for a period of time, it's not the end of the world for me. But all in all, I still love my Model 3. Definitely love it. So, if this is your first time visiting the channel, please consider subscribing. Hit that bell if you want to be notified of new content. That bell, that bell. If this is, if you found the video interesting, please give it a big thumbs up. Leave your comments, suggestions, ideas, and thoughts below. I've picked up a lot of information from people that have commented on my video. You know, told me stuff that I didn't know. Like, for example, when I demonstrated the frunk, the way I was closing the frunk, it was exactly the wrong way to do it. If you look at the manual, there's a very, very detailed way that you're supposed to close the frunk, and if you do not follow those instructions, you risk damaging it. So yeah, it's good to know. In a nutshell, you basically put your hands on either side of the Tesla emblem and push down there. Don't do it with one hand, don't do it in the middle, don't do it on the edge. You need to look at your manual and close it the way that they say. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, Duffman out. But with about 30 seconds of work, that's what it looks like underneath. You can get a kit that has a center cap and black covers for the lug nuts, and then you got some sweet looking alloy wheels, man. These help on highway. They help with your efficiency from less drag. But if you're not doing a lot of highway driving, you're not really going to be hurting by exposing your sweet alloy wheels. Nice, huh?